Today, we've got an awesome guest, Joel McCune. He's got a braised beef rigatoni he's doing, Crazy Town, and he's doing an eggs in Purgatory that he's made the sauce from scratch. Joel McCune, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
Hey, Jason, thanks for having me. So what I'm doing, I always have leftover pizza dough laying around the house, and I've been letting these little balls sit for about 20 minutes to soften up. All it is pizza dough balls thrown in the oven to make bread. So that's what we're starting with. I'm going to get those in the oven about 475 degrees. While that's baking, I'm going to start off with an eggs in Purgatory, and then for the main course, we're doing a Porcini crusted or bourbon braised beef rigatoni pasta.
Is that all? That's all you got on the menu today? That's it, huh?
You told me to keep it under 4 hours, so I had to knock it down. So
we did make a nice little drink today.
Bourbon is the theme.
Bourbon is the theme.
Oh.
We're doing a little whiskey sour. So bingo bango.
Bingo bango.
Cheers, everyone. Oh yeah, get in on that tomato sauce. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I made that earlier. I'm going to show you how I make that in a minute. It's really easy.
So you said you just put your balls in the oven, correct?
Yes, I did.
All right. Well, then I'm going to go have to do that myself. In my grill. I'm putting it on my grill. Okay.
That sounds a lot better than balls in the oven, just saying.
I've been working those balls all day.
All right, so I've got my cast iron skillet. We'll see how much it holds. I don't want to make it too high. About 10 ounces. I like egg yolk. I like a runny egg yolk. So I've got 1 egg, but I added a second egg yolk to this guy. So I'm going to drop that right in the middle. Hit it with a little red pepper flake. Just a touch of salt. If it doesn't turn out right, you may not see it come out of the oven. I might just throw it in the sink and we'll pretend like it never happened.
Like, oh, what happened to the eggs in Purgatory? Oh, they didn't make it out of Purgatory.
So I'm going to go ahead and start that tomato sauce. Ripe tomatoes. That one almost looks like an heirloom tomato. I just quarter them. Small onion, quartered. It's all going in the oven. 8, 9, 10 pieces of garlic, peeled. Drizzle with some olive oil, extra virgin olive oil.
So now while you're sitting there working those little fingers, people don't really know all about you, Joel. What's your story, man?
I'm a teacher. I teach 6th grade math and science. And I also work as a travel agent. I actually specialize in Disney vacations. Salt, basil, onion, garlic. I roast this at about 450 for about 40 minutes, and then I hit it with my immersion blender and I turn it into pizza sauce. But this is also the sauce I use to braise the beef in. I got some boneless short rib, New Zealand grass-fed wagyu. That's a chuck roast and some boneless short rib. It's about 2.5 pounds or so. Dried porcini mushrooms.
Okay.
I hit in the spice grinder. So I'm doing a salt and porcini crust on the braised beef. And a little bit of this goes a long way. I'm just trying to sear off the beef.
I'm going to add some prosciutto with the manchego and peaches, and we're going to do a little hot honey. We're just going to drizzle a little bit of that on there. Like so.
That looks yummy.
That sounds amazing.
I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to go for it.
Not all truffle oil is created equal.
Oh, look at this truffle.
I've bought some really cheap ones in the past. This one has a nice little hunk of white truffle in it. I'm not sure if you can see that.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to put a little on top of that.
Nice.
And I'm going to break this bread open.
Oh, you already got it out?
Oh, look at the little crispy.
Thanks for reminding me.
Oh, it's perfect. Look at the steam.
Hopefully I did not overcook the egg.
Oh, it's perfect. Look at that, Jason.
That's amazing.
Am I allowed to take a bite?
Of course, eat it.
All
People
right.
want to know what it's like. Oh my God, dude. That's insane. I'm going to make that.
I'm going to pull it off. Crank the temperature down a little bit. Got a nice little brown crust on both sides. Let me get that fat there. There you go. I just keep it really simple. I'm going to throw in a bunch of smashed garlic cloves, tomato paste, and then go in. It won't catch fire. About 3/4 of a cup of good red wine.
Not bad red wine?
So I added about, I wasn't counting, but about 24, 32 ounces of the tomato sauce. This is now starting to simmer. So what I want to do is get my beef back in. I want my
Ooh, that's looking
sauce
good.
about halfway, 3/4 up.
Wow.
It's kind of like cooking shrimp. If you throw shrimp in a boil and it's raging boil, they're going to tense up on you. I don't want that meat to cook too fast. I want it just kind of, after 3.5, 4 hours, to just fall apart without tensing up and overcooking. So I'm going to get the lid on this. Got a pot of heavily salted boiling water. And I always hate it on TV when they say heavily salt the water and they take like a pinch and drop a pinch in. I'm talking like half a cup or a cup of, you want it to taste like the ocean. Rigatoni.
Rigatoni.
So after 4 hours at 250 in the oven, it looks like this. I like to take the meat out. I mean, you see it just falling apart.
Wow, look at that.
And I break apart about half the meat, put it back into the sauce, reserve about half the meat. The pasta, once I drain it, it's going to go right into the sauce. And then when I serve it, I like to serve a big hunk of the braised beef on top of the pasta.
Say hi.
Hey. Ella and Elise.
They're adorable.
We also pickled up some peaches to put on top of our pork chops. Here's your pickled peaches on top of some nice cowboy chop type pork chops. Ooh, look at that.
There's two ways you could do this. It's just awesome right now the way it is. Little Parmesan or Pecorino. If you had some good truffle oil, just a couple of drops on that would be fantastic. Or fresh shaved truffle, which is hard to get in Texas.
Ooh, that looks good, Joel. What do you think? What do you think about your own cooking?
You got to try that. You need to make it. Have Jason make that for you.
There's our kid, Joel.
How are you
Let me
doing?
see.
And show Corbin that final plate there. So he did a bourbon braised beef rigatoni.
Hey, it's awesome, Joel.
Thank you. We love you guys.
That was a great
Love
meal.
you for having us. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.